You already know something is off. Maybe you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's this quiet tension that shows up every time money comes up in conversation. Maybe it starts as a small disagreement about a purchase. Maybe it's a look your partner gives you when they check the bank account. Maybe it's that sinking feeling you get when you realize you've been together for years and somehow you're still not where you thought you'd be financially. That feeling is more common than you think, and it is silently destroying more relationships and more financial futures than almost any other force on earth. Here's what nobody tells you. The biggest financial mistakes couples make are almost never about money itself. They are about the invisible patterns, the unspoken assumptions, the tiny decisions repeated over and over again that compound into something devastating over time. And by the time most couples realize what has been happening, they have already lost years, sometimes decades, of building real wealth together. I want to talk to you today about exactly how this happens, because understanding it clearly is the first step to changing it. And the couples who actually figure this out do not just save their finances, they transform their entire relationship. Let us start with the very first way couples quietly destroy their financial future. And it is probably happening in your home right now without you even realizing it. It is the money silence, the complete avoidance of real, honest financial conversation. Think about the last time you and your partner sat down and had a genuinely open, vulnerable, detailed conversation about money. Not about a specific bill, not about who is paying for dinner, but a real conversation about where you both want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. If you are struggling to remember when that happened, you are not alone. Most couples never have that conversation. They assume they are on the same page because they love each other. And love is powerful, but love does not build a retirement account. Love does not pay off debt. Love does not create financial security for the family you want to build or already have. The silence is the first crack in the foundation. And while we are here, I want to tell you about something we have linked in the description below. We have a program that has helped couples completely transform the way they handle money together. And not in the way you might think. This is not a budgeting course. This is not a spreadsheet system. It is something deeper and more complete than that. The couples who have gone through it have described it as the thing they wish they had found years earlier. But here is the honest truth. If you are the type of person who thinks you already have it all figured out, this probably is not for you. Most people will scroll past it, and that is fine. But if part of you knows something needs to change, that link might be the most important thing you click today. Now back to what is actually happening in your relationship with money. The second way couples silently destroy their financial future is something I call the invisible ledger. This is where both people in the relationship are quietly keeping track of who spent what and who deserves what without ever saying it out loud. One person feels like they are being responsible and resents the other for spending freely. The other person feels controlled or judged without even knowing why. And so both people are walking around with this invisible score running in their heads, and it grows heavier every single week. This does not just cause resentment, it causes financial paralysis. Big decisions never get made. Investments get delayed because nobody wants to start that argument. A house never gets bought. A business never gets started. An opportunity passes that could have changed everything, all because of an unspoken ledger that nobody is willing to acknowledge. Think about what that costs over time. If you delay investing for even 5 years because of relationship friction around money, the compound growth you miss is not just the money you would have put in. It is the returns on those returns on those returns. We are talking potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. That is not an exaggeration. That is mathematics. And that is the real cost of emotional silence around money. The third thing that quietly destroys couples financially is the difference in money beliefs that were programmed into both of you long before you ever met each other. You grew up watching your parents handle money a certain way. Your partner grew up watching theirs do the same. And those childhood blueprints are running your adult financial decisions right now, completely below your conscious awareness. One of you may believe money is something to be saved and hoarded because scarcity felt real growing up. The other may believe money is meant to be enjoyed because they watch someone work endlessly and die without ever living. Neither of those beliefs is entirely wrong, but when they collide in a shared financial life without ever being examined, the result is conflict, confusion, and stagnation. The couples who break through this are the ones who do the internal work alongside the practical strategies. That is a rare combination, but it is the only combination that actually works long-term. Every financial expert who focuses only on the numbers and ignores the psychology is giving you half a solution at best. Now let me paint you a picture of what this actually looks like in real life, because numbers are important, but human experience is what makes it real. Imagine a couple who is both working hard, both contributing, both genuinely trying. But every month something happens and they end up back at zero or close to it. They are not reckless, they are not irresponsible. But there is always a reason the savings do not stick. A car repair here, a family obligation there, A decision made without full communication that costs more than expected. And month after month, year after year, the gap between where they are and where they want to be does not close. It widens. And the quiet desperation in that relationship is something that nobody on the outside ever sees, because from the outside everything looks fine. But on the inside, both people are tired, both people are scared, and both people have stopped believing that things can actually change. That is not a rare story. That is the most common story. And the reason most couples stay stuck in it is because they keep looking for an external solution to an internal problem. Here is something powerful that the research shows consistently. Couples who are on the same financial page are not just wealthier. They report significantly higher relationship satisfaction. They argue less. They experience more intimacy. They make bolder decisions together because fear does not run the relationship anymore. Financial alignment is not just about money. It is about trust. It is about safety. It is about building something together that actually feels like a partnership. The fourth silent destroyer is what I call financial ghosting. This is where one person in the relationship completely opts out of the financial conversation and hands all the responsibility to the other. And it seems like a relief at first. One person handles the money, the other does not have to stress about it. But what actually happens is that the person managing everything slowly drowns in the weight of it alone. They make decisions under pressure without support. They feel the anxiety every month while their partner lives in what feels like blissful ignorance. And when something goes wrong, when the account is low, when a debt comes due, when the financial plan falls apart, the person who is kept out of it has no context, no understanding, and no tools to help. The resentment that follows, that moment, is some of the most corrosive force in a relationship. Both people need to be in the room financially. Both people need to understand what is coming in, what is going out, and where they are headed together. That shared ownership is what transforms a financial plan from a source of stress into a source of shared purpose. The fifth destroyer is the lifestyle creep that happens invisibly as income grows. Most couples celebrate when they start earning more. And they should. But what tends to happen almost automatically is that spending rises to meet the new income level, sometimes before the money even arrives. A better apartment, a newer car, nicer restaurants more often, clothing, vacations, upgrades. None of these things are bad in isolation. But when spending always rises to consume the new income, the gap between earning and building never changes. You can double your income and still feel financially stuck because the money never stays long enough to compound into anything real. The couples who build genuine wealth are the ones who let income grow while keeping lifestyle changes intentional and measured. They celebrate earning more by investing more, not just spending more. And then there is one more thing that goes unspoken but is probably the most important point in this entire conversation. Most couples wait for a crisis before they address any of this. They wait until the debt is out of control. They wait until the relationship is in serious trouble. They wait until the opportunity is past, and then they try to fix in a moment of panic what could have been built steadily over years. The difference between the couples who end up financially free and deeply connected, and the couples who end up struggling, bitter, and behind, almost always comes down to one thing: timing. Specifically, how soon they decided to take this seriously. The couples we have worked with who found the most transformation, who went from constant money fights to genuine financial alignment, who went from zero savings to building real security, they all say the same thing when asked what they wish had been different. They say they wish they had started sooner. Not because things were terrible before, but because once they had the clarity, the tools, and the shared framework, everything moved so much faster than they expected. And looking back at the years before, they could see so clearly what had been costing them. That is exactly why the program linked in the description below exists. Not for the couple who has everything figured out, not for the couple who is comfortable staying exactly where they are, but for the couple who looks at each other and knows that something needs to change, and who is ready to actually do something about it today, not next month, not when things settle down, today. Because the cost of waiting is not zero. Every single day you delay is another day of compounding in the wrong direction. That link is in the description. The decision is yours.